Assalamu alaikum. My name is Iman and my topic is multiplicity for complex relationship. Overview of lecture. Multiplicity attributes, multiplicity in complexity relationship. Let's explain all these topics. Multiplicity defines how many objects participate in a relationship, and it is the number of instances of one class related to one instance of the other class. Each association and aggregation, there are two multiplicity decisions to make, one for each end of the relationship. Multiplicity. The possible type of multiplicity are as following: one to many, 0, or 1 to 1, 0, or 1 to many. Multiplicity attributes. The multiplicity attributes of a relationship specifies the cardinality of number of instances of an identity type that can be associated with the instance of another identity type. There are some multiplicity attributes explained here. It is a Java program of attributes. Simple type name is equal to T multiplicity. Restriction basis is equal to access token. Enumeration value 0 and 1. Enumeration value 1. Enumeration value star. Restriction simple type. And that's it. The program finished. These are some attributes related to multiplicity. Going on next topic. Let's start our main topic: multiplicity in complexity relationships. There are four types of multiplicities: one to one, one to many, many to one, many to many. Let's explain one to one. One to one relationship. Each identity instance is related to a single instance of another identity. For example, to model a physical warehouse in which each storage bin contains a single weightage storage bin, and weightage would have a one-to-one relationship. One-to-one relationship use the Java X persistence one-to-one association on the corresponding persistent property of field. There is a grammatical or graphical way of one-to-one relationship in which one student relate with the student info or content info of another student. This show one-to-one relationship of one student info or one student name, ID वगैरह etc. Let's explain one to many. An identity instance can be related to multiple instances of the other identities. In this relationship, one identity relates to many identities. For example, a sales order have multiple line items in the order application. Order would have a one-to-many relationship with line item. One-to-many relationship use the JavaX persistence. One-to-many enunciation on the corresponding persistence property or field. Here is an example of one-to-many in which one identity relates to three identities or more than three identities or many identities. Going on next, many to one. Many to one relationship. Multiple identities of an identity. If multiple instances of an identity can be related to a single instance of the other identity. This multiplicity is the opposite of a many one to many relationship. In the example just mentioned, from the persistive of line item, the single relationship of order is many to one. Many to one in relationship use the JavaX persistence many to one enunciation on the corresponding persistence property of field as other relationships. Here is an example of employee and a department. There are many employees in a department. It relates to a single department, whereas employees are many in number. This is a huge example of many to one relationship. Many to many. The identity instance can be related to multiple instances of each other. For example, in a college, each course has many students and every student may take several courses. Therefore, in an enrollment application, course and students would have a many-to-many relationship. Many-to-many relationship use the JavaX persistence many-to-many enunciation on the corresponding persist property or field. Here is an example of many-to-many in which student ID students may be primary key, enrollment and their enrollments are foreign key and they are related to their classes. These are relationships are many to many. It is an example of many to many relationship. Going on next. Here is a slide edit for several additional which shows validation messages of different relationships. First of all, one to many show 1 star must contain at least one value. 1 to infinite upper bound 1 m must contain between 1 and m value. Finite lower bound to finite upper bound, and to m must contain between n and m value. 0 to finite upper bound, 0 to finite upper bound, 0 to m must contain between 0 and m value. Exactly 1 must contain exactly one value, exactly equal to the finite bound n must contain exactly n values. These are all relationships. Hope so you learn very well. Take care. Allah Hafiz.